No, let's just do come once.
Hey, Google face.
I'm on.
What?
Asshole.
I mean, the guy was a jerk.
Hey, Google face.
Hey, Mr.
Tell her.
Odors.
Did you tell all that?
You better get that screen right over top.
Get it all.
First, you gotta do the truffle show.
Oh, this is great. Squid.
Thanks, man. The Knutsons.
Brother Seamus.
Fucking amateur.
That's right, we are amateurs.
They're amateurs.
We are.
At the Apollo.
And we are the
We were over at the
sportstronauts.
Apollo. We had coffee at the Apollo.
Welcome to the Sportstronauts.
Stronus.
Coming at you live and direct from Hollywood, California, and Hollywood Studios in Hollywood, Orlando, Hollywood, Florida.
Stronus.
Exploring the world of sports and the universe it's in.
Because that's how we do.
I'll be bringing mine in cash.
Mitch. It's tasty,
Lock.
Mitch.
Here's the deal.
Needle whipping.
Lock. Here's the deal.
Let's get real. Let's get real.
Lock.
Look at me, America. Look how I'm living on the sky.
Welcome everybody. We're done needle whipping around.
Needle whipping.
We're ready to get down to brass tacks here. That's right. I've been
That's the
reminded
needle.
by my by my partner in crime over there that I can't see because it's through a pop
Joaquin,
filter.
a.k.a. also Felipe, they fucked that shit up.
They really
That was
fucked
their
up.
fault.
Man, we
Felipe
just did a
Serna.
whole episode.
Felipe
See,
Serna.
that sounds better already.
I'll set, we
you
got
guys-
him out of here, and
Do you guys hear my dulcimer tones?
Ned Niederlander. Nedim Niederlander.
Well, we're gonna get pretty serious right off the bat, so we
Alright,
had to
go
get
ahead.
our goofiness out of the way real quick.
Get it out of your system.
Real
Come
quick.
on.
No, we already got it. I'm good. I'm ready
Okay,
to go. We
all
gotta
right.
talk about serious bullwhipping now. We gotta talk serious bullwhipping.
All right. Well, what do you
You need to
There's
diversify
a
your
couple-
bonds.
We need to diversify. And
There's
we
a
need
couple areas of concern this evening. What are we going to start with?
Let's start with Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban. You know what?
The Mark Cuban situation.
It's so loaded.
Barack Obama is going to visit Mark
It's
Cuban right
so
now.
loaded with a lot of bullhuito.
But he's the first president to visit
In 80
Mark
some
Cuban
years.
in almost a hundy.
A couple of hundy years.
And he's going to Mark Cuban's house. No sitting president has ever been to Mark Cuban's house in the last almost hundy years.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, Barack,
Barry.
don't call me Hussein Obama,
And Jeter, dude.
and Derek Jeter,
And Noma.
and Noma.
I'm not sure about Raymond.
We really need to prove it.
I'm not sure about the Noma, a.k.a. Ray.
But they're all going because we're playing a baseball game. It's a home game for Cuba, for Cuba Gooding Jr. And it's it's a home game. So that means we're legitimizing the deal for the Castro regime. We're saying
Which,
that everything's
don't
cool.
get me started on this bullshit.
I know.
don't
But that's
wanna
what I'm
hear
saying. That's what it sort of legitimizes them, and it sort of says, well, I know not much has changed, but we're going to pretend like it's all changed
Yeah,
and it's all
exactly.
good
I
now.
mean, that's what I don't get. I don't get this whole
Unless
parade.
there is an actual effort that stems from this or whatever.
Yeah, but what's the
that
motivation?
actually
What do they
gets
have but the U.S. wants?
opening up trade, money.
They got a lot of dough.
We do. What do they have that the U.S. wants?
Yeah.
I thought you meant what does the U.S. have that Cuba wants?
I mean, is it just a tourist destination? Is that what we see as a
I don't know, man.
strategic?
Who knows?
Maybe
But there's an awful lot of
land
people-
acquisition,
there's an
manifest destiny in its finest form. I don't
Probably.
know.
There's a lot of people. It would be more of an manifest.
Hashtag manifest destiny. dog.
Manifest annexation.
That's exactly right.
So,
Louisiana Purchase.
but
annexation.
here's the deal, though.
Lock. Here's the deal.
Break it down. So I don't know what the U.S. has to gain. They just gain more territory, and they gain more there's so many people coming and going. The migrant situation between Cuba and Florida alone is a reason to repair relations between the two countries. So that people stop trying to escape one for the other, risking them and their families' lives.
Dude. And I think that's what that's the one positive I can see immediately, at least with you were talking about Dan Levitard about how it's like super personal for him because
and any other person of
parents,
Cuban descent,
like
with
come on,
direct
they
ties.
were put on airplanes and sent.
Yeah, they're
just
great.
Figure it out.
like you're better off
Figure
on
it
your
out.
own in America, away
got
from
it.
anyone you know, and you don't even speak English. You're better off there than in Castro's Cuba.
I mean, how old were they? Like, were they?
They're
at
like
least,
15, 16. But still, imagine.
God.
At 15 being shipped to some country where you can't speak your language.
Yeah, imagine
and
going
it's like
to,
fear because you may not ever see your parents again. By the way,
Yeah.
Brozy, that is definitely an older Nuba jersey.
Yeah,
that is
no,
an
that's why it's
older
awesome.
Cavs. up
That's
top.
why it's so
That's
great.
pre-Miami.
Yep. That's why I like it.
It was pre-Miami days.
Kever got me a nice. I think we've briefly mentioned it before.
Yeah, we've mentioned it before.
I'll be bringing mine in cash.
I pressed the wrong one, but that one
It was
never
actually
gets old.
in the form of a LeBron jersey,
That's what I was trying to do.
and it's wonderful. But yeah, this whole Cuba shit, I just don't understand the parade.
I don't understand the timing of it. Maybe is more of the question. I mean, is it because of the embargo? Was there an embargo?
Well, yeah,
that came
of
down?
course, yeah. But but why did the embargo come down? I mean, right? That was.
I mean, embargo. I mean, it was perfect. It worked well.
Oh,
That's what these drops are for.
Yeah.
Who's with us? Who's
We get
sticking
real
with us?
nice. It's real great.
Who's sticking with us right now? Well, look, I think the bottom line is, as long as there's good that comes out of this, then it'll be fine. You know what I mean? Not
yeah,
fine,
at least at
it's-
the base, at the most basic level, that people will stop trying these like death-defying journeys over to get to Miami or to get to Florida. Like,
in my opinion, that's the most crucial part.
yeah,
of it,
if
is
there's
that
at
so
least
many
that,
people have died,
I'm happy with that.
and then
At
people
least
get
that's a good
turned
thing.
away. People get, you know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah, man.
All sorts of
I
bad
don't want
stuff
to.
happens.
I don't want to be seeing a bunch of dead people on a raft. You know what I mean?
neither.
Like, come on.
I'd rather see a bunch of dead people at the base of a wall. Right? That's pretty
Yeah.
much what people are saying right now.
Yeah.
They'd rather see a
That's
bunch
here. You talk about Donald.
of Donald.
Who, Donnie?
Donald Sterling Trump.
Who, Donnie?
Donald Sterling Trump. Hashtag.
Hashtag Sterling.
Well, at any rate, speaking of
Get up and go to college.
college, we got the Natties coming around. Let's lighten it up a little
Yeah.
bit. Let's talk
All
some
right. Yeah, I'm
Natties.
sick of the shit. I we got
Let's
the
talk
whole
some
deal,
Natties.
and I can't trivialize. I can't do it.
I mean, we could.
I can't do it.
Look, we could go one of two ways.
Kev,
here.
I can't do it.
We could go to college,
Had to get up and go to college.
or we
college.
could talk about. We could get even further down the rabbit
Well,
hole.
maybe
of
I don't
darkness.
know. Let's
and
just
get
get
into
it out of the
talking
way.
about-
Let's get it out of the
Urge.
way.
You want to talk about Oj?
I want to talk about a young
Oh,
man.
I know what you want to talk about. Speaking of college,
Had to get up and go to college.
college. All right,
A young man that
tell him what you.
tell her.
Tell her what you taught. What you told me. Tell
Well,
her what you
there
saw
was-
the other day on TV.
What was it last week? A young man from the Ravens was involved in a bicicleta accident.
Well, this is the Balmer Minute, technically, just so you know.
Yeah, we got to get this going because we got. Yeah,
That's
I
all
mean,
you got. This is a somber Balmer Minute.
This is. I mean, we
That's the
can't.
only intro we
And
need.
the guy got. He was in critical care, and then he died.
Trey Walker.
And I mean, what the fuck?
Oh, it's
man?
crazy, man. There's nothing you can do about
I
it.
mean, it's just so senseless. Like,
Right, but the only thing that you can glean from it is that it was avoidable. It was
Well,
preventable.
yeah, I mean, there's
because
a
he was
lot
a
of-
consequence. It was a consequence of his own choices, and that's what Harbaugh conveyed to the team. Before he died, he wrote a letter to the team saying, "Guys, your choices, your daily simple choices in life affect a lot of people, not just yourself. I mean, and even for yourself."
Yeah, you're
even
connected to so many people,
even for your own well-being. But besides your own well-being, think about the well-being of everyone in your family, everyone that relies on you, everyone that supports you, your teammates, your organization, your fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's for those guys. But the same can be said for everybody. We all need to be mindful of our choices on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Got to stop texting and driving, right? Got to stop being distracted and driving. It's not just texting.
Gotta stop driving slow as shit.
Well, that's why people are
man.
driving slow. They all got their heads on their phones.
Yeah,
and I've been
it's,
guilty of
you
it, man. And
gotta-
I need to stop it. I'm being way more Diligent, vigilant, whatever the
No, that's
needle
correct.
whipping? Whatever that needle
The needle
whipping
whipping,
word is.
yeah, that's correct. But
Unbelievable.
at any rate, we don't need to spend any more time
Well,
on YouTube. But
at any rate.
I feel terrible for the guy. and his
Yeah, no,
family
we
and,
needed to be somber and
anybody
take a
who's,
moment
you
for
know,
the Ballmer
connected to
minute.
him. And I just hope, you know, I don't know what the hell I hope. I mean, it's just senseless.
Yeah, it's terrible. But
Just too much, man.
yep. But then, so we want to get more somber than that?
Can we?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
What could be more than that?
I don't know. Maybe being falsely accused of rape.
Oh my god. Oh, that whole deal. Are you talking about Duke Lacrosse?
Yep.
All right, so
You ask your average person
Who
what they
the-
think about
yeah.
Duke lacrosse. What will
Dude.
it tell you?
rape case. They raped some. You know, the Duke.
Oh, they
teams.
raped some black chick,
Bunch of
right?
privileged lacrosse players raped some stripper.
Some
you know,
black stripper.
Some down on her luck stripper. I feel
Well,
terrible
I think
for
if
her too,
someone's-
though. Honestly, man, she didn't know what the fuck was going on, man.
Well, didn't you just say she's in jail for murdering her
Yeah, but
boyfriend?
she's superly mentally unstable. Like she has. I mean, it's like. But yeah, she's in jail now for murdering her boyfriend.
That's great.
So, and that happened like a couple of years ago, apparently, because I watched the whole 30 for 30, which, my God, what a great show that was! What a great show! All
30
them
for 30s in
motherfuckers-
general are pretty awesome.
dude. And the greatest one of all is to come in June.
Which?
What do you think?
The 30 for 30 for O.J. Simpson?
Yes.
Whoa, really? Oh, I was totally kidding.
7 hours, or it's 10 hours long.
30 for 30 times 30.
30 for 90.
30 for 30
80.
times 7D. 11D, Blumpkin.
The Blumpty under Blumpkin. But yeah, man. So this whole Duke deal, that whole situation, man. I remember
It can be
senior in
summed up by
college-
saying
Yeah, I
this.
hurt myself. I hurt my nose.
That's
Heard
what
that
was going
nose ash
on.
thing.
That's what was going on in the Dukes.
But I remember
The
I was in
Doogie
college.
Howser.
I was a senior in college.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Cornell, where Ithaca is. Ithaca. Oh, and then I went to, that's where Cornell is. That's where I went to college. Andrew Bernard. Had to get up and go to college.
Rosie.
But, that whole deal. But
let's
I'm
go
telling
back.
you, man,
Let's
I
go
remember
back a
being
minute.
in that. I remember watching that shit unfold. And
What
there you
shit?
go.
The Duke Lax?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was such a spectacle. It
it
was
was pretty
every
crazy.
single fucking person in the media reporting or speaking about this was 100% sure
Hundies?
they were guilty, and they were even guilty of more than what was even reported.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Being
It was
KKK
like
members and
they
whatnot.
probably strung her up and did. You know what I mean? Like who knows?
And they were all wearing boat shoes.
Yep, they were wearing those boat shoes. No, actually, that was Yale.
Did you see that picture? That Instagram pic?
9.
It's like every dude. I think it was like every Yale student right now, and it was like, or maybe it was Duke. I forget which, but it was like some kid with like a champagne bottle and like a gold chain and like boat shoes, like in the waves, and he's like flossing, but he's like this preppy like Duke kid.
He's dabbing.
Yeah,
You think he was dabbing? A
Yep.
little dabble, do ya?
little dabble do ya, a yabba dabble
Rabble
do ya,
rousers.
yabba dab will do ya,
I mean, could you imagine being accused of something like that? Like,
No.
and having it be like
and
totally
having it be false? No,
Yeah, totally be.
because at that point, if you're being accused, then depending on what the details and the circumstances are, like once you're
Zircums.
accused, you're always linked to it, even if you never did it.
you're still
Even if you're 100% innocent, like Jameis Winston is Timothy Buccalo.
famous Jameis. Who Jameis?
I want Timmy Daddy Thanksian Buggles to be
Who Buckle?
twittering at
Buckle
us.
ain't have no Twitter. He would just get in trouble.
He needs to Twitter at us and state his case against Jameis Winston. I'm calling him out.
I think one of the main components of that might be the F or P, F and the P, when he stood up and
How do you spell Buccalo?
Buckle. It's Buck Elu, but it's pronounced Bucklu.
It's pronounced
It's Bucklu.
Boggle.
That's what Bucklu told us. He always was Bucklu, but I think it's spelled Bucky-Loo, but it's he says it's pronounced Bucklu or Bucklu.
First, you gotta do the truffle shuffle.
You know that there's some motocross guy named Bucklu?
No.
Like some famous, he was like Great.
Prove it.
Last name Buck.
What, like Evel Knievel famous?
Yeah. No, I mean like motocross. Maybe X Games. Or maybe Whiskers. Raymond Moore. Another shout out to a Raym. And then there was a Raymond.
We did a great shout out for Raymond Moore earlier.
Ned Niederlander.
Exact.
That's for Ray Moore. And we have a shout out to our good dear friend, one Margus Margate Quimby Stansbry.
Woo! Congratulations, Mark!
Good friend of the show. Good
Great friend.
Cash, homie.
He dare we say best friend of the show.
Yes, that's fact.
Best friend.
Best friend and benefactor.
Jim Nay wanted no part, bro.
Jim Nay was invited, was not allowed on the podcast because he didn't want any part of it.
he flat out refused.
He flat out refused.
And denied.
But Margate
Declined.
graced us. So if you listen to episode 1, that's where Margate is.
Who, Margus?
Yeah, that's where Margate is.
And
so
please tell. Can you give us a little update?
I
on
don't
Margus?
even know the story. I'm just I'm a third party
You're a third
witness here.
wheel.
I'm a third wheel. I'm a third
wheel.
witness.
All right. Well, I'll give you the
Just
breakdown
tell-
here. So
Tell her.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her. So Margus, as you may or may not know,
Who you know
Had to
from?
get up and go to college.
from college, Margus is a quarter Mexican. Okay, his dad
Straight cash, homie.
and his dad's family grew up in Mazatlan, Mexico, and they hunted jaguars, and like his family was like the mayor of. I mean, it's cool. It's really cool. Like it really is cool. And he has pictures. I've seen the pictures. It's dope.
Asshole.
I mean, the guy was a jerk.
Well, he is jerky, but that's besides the point. That's ancillary. So Margus today told me via Google Chat.
Hey Google face.
Hey Google Face. Hey Google Face. Margus told me that he recently discovered that he is in fact part Jewish.
Come on, fuckhead.
Has Jewish heritage.
No way.
Yeah, and I said, well, that's awesome, dude. How'd you find out? And he's like,
So now he's a member of the Knutsons.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the breakdown is, but he.
So now
is-
you can add. So he's the most multicultural,
He's the definition of America, man.
Yeah.
He's the definition of America.
His name
and
is
that's why it's
Margate Stansbry.
great. Stansbry.
Look him up on Facebook.
Margus.
Margate.
He also goes by Margie or Margus.
Margie or Margus, indeed.
Margus or
He has multiple active Twitter accounts. No,
Who, Margus?
It's not racist because he represents all of it. He's a big fan of El Tri.
He is.
Big fan.
Chicharito scored Tres goals.
Chicharito, gola, Chicharito. Well, at any rate, that's what I would say every time he would get into it about Mexican foosball.
Well, it's tough, man. But let me ask you a question. Okay, so back to that whole Duke bullshit.
Yeah,
Now, so that was how you say rush to judgment.
yeah.
Do you think that? No, that's you know what I mean. Like that's what most people would say. Okay, that was a fucking rush to judgment. Holy shit!
Right.
Well, what about OJ?
Same thing, dude? That was
Is that a rush?
that was crafted by the defense.
But is that a rush to judgment though?
well, the OJ was different because everyone knew OJ already before this. Duke cross players, no one had any idea what lacrosse was or who these people were before they judged. So these people were introduced to the public and then tried and found guilty and then executed essentially in the public court of public opinion. Within days. But OJ had his entire career leading
built
up.
up that all good goodwill,
and that's why so many. If he would have just been another, literally, and I don't mean to sound like anything, but I'm serious, another black guy involved in killing a white person, right? Which is what it would have broken down to.
Two white people.
Two white people. Please. Do you think he would have stood a chance if he didn't have his prior celebrity?
No, but directly to your point, quoting OJ, I'm not black. I'm OJ. And that was absolutely true.
Yeah,
Who looked at OJ as going, oh, there's that black. They just go, there's OJ. Hell yeah, everybody loves OJ. Like,
of course, but that's why the
OJ
defense.
was the shit.
That's why the defense did what they did, man. That's why John Travolta back then was on the legal staff, and so was Rod Tidwell.
On the dream team.
So was Michael Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan was on the dream team.
Courtney Vance, who's great. One of the greatest. But yeah,
Well,
I'm sorry. I can't get off this OJ shit. The more I look back on it, the more it just doesn't make sense.
Can't sit here.
Thanks, man.
I was pushing for relax, man.
Yeah, but I can't get over it, dude.
Well, what can't
There's
you
a
get over?
lot of
What part?
things that don't make sense. Like, okay, so first of all, it's like, there's no doubt in my mind that they planted the sock evidence. 100%. There's no question in my mind. 100% that's planted.
Sock or glove?
No, sock.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
so
different.
on the first 5 sweep-throughs, or first 3 to 5 sweep-throughs of OJ's residence, they didn't find shit in his room, right?
Okay.
And then on the next one, they find a bloodied sock. Okay,
Well, it's
and
like the making a murderer BS,
exactly,
which we've already
the
been over.
keys. Yeah, okay, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's railroading 101. Railroad 101. But so the whole thing is so they didn't find it, then they found it, right? And then so when that's submitted for
If
evidence,
I were to go to school to become a railroad engineer, like an operator, that's what they would teach me in Railroading 101. Up top.
it's like, let me tell you something, asshole. Here's how you railroad somebody's
The guy
ass.
was a jerk.
You make sure you find a
You're
big
like,
ass
I mean, I thought this was like, I thought I was gonna be like an engineer with like the striped hat.
engineer that.
Are we still
Adjust the
use-
treble
like,
on my
main
ding
questions were like, are we still using coal? Like, how does that work?
Clean energy, brosy.
Yeah, how
New
do
media,
these
clean
trains
energy.
work these days? Last time I operated a train was like the 1800s.
In Back to the Future 3.
Is my resume up to
It was
date?
Back to the Future 3, brosy.
Yep.
At any rate,
Speaking of Rich, did you know
the lace-ups?
that in Back to the Future
Auto lace-ups?
Dose
Yeah.
with Biff,
Yeah.
that was actually based on Donald Trump back in the day.
No.
Yes. Look into it.
You fucking kidding me?
Serious.
I could believe it.
We
Guy's
don't
an
have,
asshole.
Look, again, this show
I mean, the
is
guy's a jerk.
Yeah, I didn't even need to press it. Asshole.
I mean, the guy was a jerk.
So,
But OJ, we got to get back on task here because I'm fucking riveted by this shit.
all right, go for it, because I just forgot what I was going to say anyway.
Good.
That's crazy!
But here's the deal, right? So I will concede to you, I think that OJ is not guilty, but I'm not sure if he's innocent. You know what I mean? I think
Whoa, how?
the standard
Did
of
he
proof,
kill them
the
or did he
burden
not
of,
kill them?
The burden of proof that was set as the trial, right? Like as the criminal defense trial,
Which
right?
the whole point.
Reasonable doubt, 100% reasonable doubt. There's 100% reasonable doubt. I don't like
I agree.
anyone who says, "Okay, I watched that entire trial, and if I'm on the jury, I'm saying percent guilty." I mean, I would say you're a moron. You didn't watch the fucking trial. Like,
Yeah.
you have to watch that shit to see. I mean, the defense did a great job of implanting reasonable doubt in the jury's minds.
That's true. They used Inception.
They did the inception. I mean, they went into their dreams, but then told them that they were in a dream within a dream.
Some of them were actually dozing off on the stand.
No, but
while
that's-
they were on the jury stand.
Actually, as you say that,
I know.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think you got to be realistic when it comes to.
Actually, as
No,
you
but
say that.
seriously, man. If you're some person, like, let's say you're a truck driver, right? And
What are you driving trucks?
you're driving a big ass fucking Mack
Let's
truck.
say you're driving trucks vocationally.
Driving a big ass truck, right? And you get picked to be on this fucking jury, right? And you get through and they pick you. And they go, okay, well, yeah, this is going to be a couple weeks. This might be a month or two. You know, whatever. And then you go, oh, okay, cool. 3 months goes on. When is this going to be over? Another month, another week.
Yeah, and you're
another-
not working the whole time. You're making like $10 a day, and you're like
Yes.
giving like free snacks,
Yes, man, you're sequestered. You can't watch fucking
maybe. Do you think
TV.
those jurors wrote books? Do we know about that?
Yeah, they all wrote books.
Joaquin,
Felipe Serna, you fucking
need
asshole.
our
All right,
damn-
that's it. I can't.
they're fired.
Felipe, that's it. That's the last time. Rosie.
You guys are.
Kotho.
Rosie.
He's being super Kotho right now.
You guys are fired.
But at any rate, I don't know. Let me just tell you this. There's a lot of evidence for and against OJ. I'll tell you that much. There's evidence. I firmly believe.
Look. Who did
I
it
firmly
then?
believe-
Who did it then?
I have no idea.
I'm not trying to say one way or the other.
I think, honest to God, I think it was his son. I think it was OJ's
I agree,
son.
man. I think that theory holds. They never even really looked into him, did they?
The thing is right. So they found
He was banging, or he wasn't. He wanted to be banging Nicole. And he
Yeah,
didn't
he
like
was
how
all.
his
It was a
dad treating
weird
him.
deal with
Treating
him.
her.
He was admitted. I mean, he had
'Cause
all
he
these
was older from a
journals,
different-
The year of the knife. The knife's for me. All this shit. Bill Deere does a great job of investigating that. I suggest you read his novel on that. Hey, Fash. Yep. Which he trails Jason Simpson and stalks him and goes through his trash and like ridiculous shit. But it's an interesting read. I don't know how true
Jason?
it is. Chazen?
As in
Yeah, I hurt
Simpson.
myself. I hurt my nose.
Ash. As in that.
Nose-ash.
As in nose-ash?
The nose-ash thing.
Look, we have one more important deal to talk about.
What, OJ?
To get up and go to college.
College. We have the Fatty Natty Tourney.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
I think
We should have done a whole pick episode, but now we're moving into Sweet
Whatever,
16
fuck
rounds.
this. You know what? It's the reason why I don't like college basketball is exactly the reason why I love March Madness.
Why? Because anything can happen?
Because it's all bullshit. It's
of course
like
it's all bullshit.
no, these teams, none of these, like, there's such a dilution of talent in the college basketball, right? During the season, it's okay, it's cool, it's fun, right? Once you get to the tournament and you got a fucking Florida Gulf Coast or Middle Tennessee State
That's,
that can
like,
pull out a
super
win,
hungry.
beat a fucking Michigan State.
Yep.
Come on, dog.
Middle Tennessee, Dogren.
The dog.
I was always more of an East Tennessee State University fan.
Easterns.
Johnson City.
They're in Murfreesboro.
Well, that's middle. That's Murfreesboro.
Middle.
Johnson City, Tennessee.
Yeah,
is
Johnson
one of the
is a great
ETSU,
show.
Mountain Toppers, I think. Hilltop Mountain Toppers. I think that's fake.
That might be Western Kentucky, dog.
John Landy knows the answer to that question. You don't know John Landy, but I do.
Who,
And he
Burt
knows the
Lancaster?
answer.
You can tell him to go eat a dick.
Great cash, homie. I'll be bringing mine in cash.
Who you got?
Mitch.
Who you got winning it all, Dogren?
Well,
I had
the only
Kansas.
brackets that are not busted for me yet, Oregon and Maryland Terps.
Terps.
Maryland Terps are going to be winning Natty
Mello
Champs.
Trimble.
Going to be winning Natty Champs.
Melgo.
Who, Mello?
Mel Kuiper
But really,
Jr.
do you think
Trimble.
Do you think Carmelo Trimble is the answer? Do you
Is
think
he
he's the
Nuba
shit?
ready? You think he's Nuba ready?
Sure, but I don't think he's going to be a star if he waits a year.
I think
be a
he'll be
star.
great. I think he's going to be great.
Do you think Mark Sturgeon is a good coach?
The Sturgeon finder?
Do you think
I
Mark-
think he's a good coach. Yeah,
Do you
I
think
do.
Mark Sturgeon General's wording is a good coach?
See, that's okay. We need to hashtag that because
Sturgeon General's
That's like the-
wording.
you know, the-
Hashtag
the-
Sturgeon
Sturgeon Smythe, Mr. St. John Smythe, Sturgeon.
General's
The Sturgeon General's warning.
warning. That's a long hashtag.
Hashtag.
Check on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter accounts.
Google.
At Sportstronauts for
Go to Google.
hashtag
Google.
Sturgeon's General. Sturgeon General's warning.
Not to be confused with the Washington Generals or the
Do you think-
Odors.
what if the
Odors.
the Deadskins change their name to the Generals?
I'd be fuck them. Should be Senators.
The Senators?
Yeah.
I like the Ottawa
Or the
Senators.
Bald Eagles.
The Bald. Can you imagine how stupid the name Bald Eagles would be?
They would be the Bald Eagles, and they played the Eagles.
I commented recently on something about how someone's like, what's there going to be next? Like some dead ex-president's going to come out of nowhere for the 4th of July, and I'm like, yeah, because they were talking about like the Easter Bunny and like Christmas and like all this bull whipping that's getting like apparently you got to leave shit out for kids for leprechauns now for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, apparently.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, apparently.
That's fucking bullshit.
Yep. And anyway, so the comment was, I was like, Ronald Reagan comes swooping in on a giant bald eagle with a machine gun and a bunch of Big Macs on July 4th.
That's great, man.
Thanks, man.
That's a brother shade.
Who do you have winning the Natty?
Well, I had Kansas.
Okay.
I think that's kind of a bullshit pick, to be honest. But the way that it worked out in the bracket, I said they'll beat this
That's
team.
what I looked
they'll
at.
beat
In a
this
lot
team,
of-
they'll beat this team.
I did 7 brackets, okay?
7
I'm not one of
brags.
those person that refuses to do.
You're not one of those Peebles, Mario Van Peebles?
No, I'm not one of those Mario Van Peebles.
Thank you.
Um,
Great actor, by the way. Would
Well,
love to have on the show.
Mario Van Peebles, if you're listening,
Please, Mario.
that's amazing.
Mario, if you are listening, we will make a donation to any charity you want,
Up to $20.
up to $25. $25.
Really though, before we end, who do you think is gonna win? Kansas?
Man, it's tough, dude. I don't know.
Terps. I'm going Terps. And the
rooting
Oregon
for the
Ducks
Terps,
winning Natty
dude.
champs.
I'm rooting for those Terps.
Winning Natty champs.
Natty champing. I'll tell you this, man.
You can take that to the bank.
If the Terps can beat the Kansas's, they're going to win the Natty champ.
Yeah, they'll win the Natty champ.
They're going to go on a roll. But, yeah, I got Kansas. I feel like that's a safe pick. But you got a Wayne Selden, a fucking Perry Ellis.
Come on.
Joel Embiid.
No,
Joel
let's do
Embiid.
points.
Is he ever going to play in the NBA?
Hey, Fash.
I think Joel Embiid is the
Who
biggest
is
bust.
he French?
No, he was from Africa. He played for Kansas.
He could well be French.
He was the #1 pick.
First, you gotta do the truffle shuffle.
Yeah, he
Is
hasn't
he
played.
French? Like,
Hasn't played in 2 years.
guys,
At any rate, go
Thanks
to
for
Google.
listening.
Go
Thanks
to
for
fucking
listening.
Google.
sportsronauts.com. Google Sportsronauts.
Google Teague.
Hashtag.
Hey,
Sports-
Google face.
Hashtag. Hey Google face. Hashtag. Sturgeon General's warning.
Mark Sturgeon General's warning. Bye bye.
We out.